Hi friends, tell a lie once and all your truths become questionable. Welcome all to another episode of our online class. Last class, we discussed the summer of the beautiful white horse. And Aram and Morad, they took that horse and rode the horse, and that horse actually Morad, who had stolen from somewhere, but later we came to know that it was actually that horse belongs to John Byrow, an Assyrian farmer. Now to the lesson. My uncle Khosrow became very irritated and shouted, "It's no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? What is this crying over a horse?" So, in the last part, John Byrow came to Aram's house and Uncle Khosrow was there. And at that time, John Byrow said about his stolen horse, and he was very sad and he was really surprised who had actually stolen his horse. Having heard this, Uncle Khosrow, he became irritated and he said, he shouted, "It's no harm. What's the loss of a horse?" Uncle Khosrow said, "It's no harm. What's the loss of a horse? And haven't we all lost the homeland? You know that we have already lost our homeland. We all know that they are immigrants. And that's why Khosrow, we all know that Khosrow is a man of nostalgia. He had such nostalgic feelings. So he always recollected his old memories. Similarly, or like here also, at this time he was enjoying coffee and the tobacco and recollecting the memories, the good old memories. At that time, John Byrow came there and he said about his horse. That's why he became irritated. And he said, "It's no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? What is this crying over a horse?" He's always like that. We know that once when his house was on fire, his son came and informed, and at that time also he said, "It's no harm, pay no attention to it." Similarly, here he said, "What is this crying over a horse? That may be all right for you, a city dweller, to say," John Byrow said. "But what of my Surrey? What good is a Surrey without a horse?" So John Byrow was also angry. He heard the reaction, or he heard the reply of this Khosrow. He became irritated, and John Byrow said, "That may be all right for you, a city dweller, one who wanders or one who lives in a city. That's all right for you, a city dweller, but what of my Surrey?" Surrey means a kind of cart. This John Byrow used to pull that cart with the help of that horse. So what about my Surrey without a horse? What good is a Surrey without a horse? "Pay no attention to it," my Uncle Khosrow wrote. My Uncle Khosrow only knows that. He said, "Pay no attention to it. That's better." "I walked 10 miles to get here," John Byrow said. "You know, crazy fellow, I walked 10 miles to reach here because now I couldn't use my Surrey without my horse. So that's why I used that Surrey for my traveling, but now my horse had been stolen. That's why I couldn't use that Surrey, and I almost walked 10 miles to reach here." "You have legs," my Uncle Khosrow shouted. This Khosrow is always a type of irritating fellow, that type of nature. He said, "It's no harm. You have legs. So my uncle Khosrow shouted, "You have legs, so you have to walk." "My left leg pains me," the farmer said. The farmer said, "My left leg pains me." "Pay no attention to it," my uncle Khosrow roared. Again, my uncle Khosrow, he roared, "Pay no attention to it. If your leg pains, then pay no attention to it." "That horse cost me $60, the farmer said. Now, the farmer said, "You know one thing? That horse, that actually cost $60. $60. The price of that horse, $60. "I spit on money," my uncle Khosrow said. Money. I spit on money. Pay no attention to it. Again, Khosrow. He got up and stalked out of the house, slamming the screen door. And Khosrow said, "I spit on money." And then he got up and went out of the house. He just slamming the screen door. And then my mother explained John Byrow. "He has such a gentle heart," she said. "It is simply that he is homesick and such a large man." So John Byrow was really surprised having seen the reaction of Khosrow. He just went out of the house, slammed the door, and then the mother, Aram's mother, said, "Hey, he is such a gentle fellow, such a gentle heart. It is simply that he is homesick." We know they all came from Turkey actually, and they are immigrants. So he is always homesick. He has such homesickness, and that's why he is behaving like that, and such a large fellow, but a kind heart, a gentle heart. The farmer went away, and I ran over to my cousin Morad's house. So Aram witnessed all these. And when John Byrow left that house, Aram, he ran away to his cousin Morad's house. So Aram ran away to Morad's house, and there he was sitting under a peach tree. And there Morad, who was sitting under a peach tree, and what was he doing there? Trying to repair the hurt wing of a young robin which could not fly. And there Morad was trying to help, or actually trying to repair one of the hurt wings of a young robin. Robin is a small bird. So he was trying to repair one of the hurt wings of a little bird, a young robin, and that bird could not fly. He was talking to the bird. So while repairing the wing of that bird, he was actually talking to that bird. We all know this Morad is considered as a crazy fellow, and all other members of the Garaklanian family consider him as the natural descendant of Uncle Khosrow. So here he is actually talking to the bird while he was repairing the hurt wing of that bird. "What's it?" he said. So having seen that, I ran and jumped, and then I was panting, and then suddenly he asked, "What's the matter? Why you are here now?" "The farmer, John Byrow," I said. "He visited our house. He wants his horse. You have had it a month. I want you to promise not to take it back until I learn to ride." So naturally we all think that this Aram ran away to his cousin Morad's house to inform him about John Byrow's visit and ask him to return back that horse. But we are all mistaken. What Aram said to Morad? look, the farmer John Byro, he visited our house. He said, Murad, you know, that farmer, that Assyrian farmer, John Byro, who visited our house. And then he wants his horse, and he complained that someone had stolen his horse, his white horse. And you have had it a month. Now Aram comes to know that this Murad had stolen that horse 1 month back. So he had stolen that horse a month ago. And I want you to promise now, Aram said to Murad, I want you to promise not to take it back until I learn to ride. That's funny. So a month ago, Murad had stolen that horse, and Aram here came and said to Murad, you have to promise, or I want you to promise me not to return back that horse until I learn to ride. So we know Aram was so fond of riding a horse, or horse riding. Now, it will take you a year to learn to ride, my cousin Murad said. So that was Murad's counter. He said, then it will take a year to learn to ride, my cousin Murad said. Then I have to return back that horse after another year. Which means, so that much time needed Aram to learn to ride a horse. So we could keep the horse a year, I said. He just he was just satirizing or mocking Aram. But Aram thought that he was saying what he was saying was true, and Aram said, then okay, we could keep that horse a year. He innocently said, then we could keep that horse a year. My cousin Murad leaped to his feet. Leaped means jumped to his feet. What? He roared, are you inviting a member of the Garaklanian family to steal? The horse must go back to its true owner. Suddenly, Murad jumped to his feet and said, what? He just roared, because Aram said, then we could keep that horse then over a year. Suddenly he said, what? And then, are you inviting a member of the Garaklanian family to steal? So are you inviting a member of the Garaklanian family to steal? So what is the specialty of the Garaklanian family? Yes, the Garaklanian family, they are all famous for their trust and honesty. They are truthful. So are you inviting a member of the Garaklanian family to steal? No. The horse must go back to its true owner. No, at any cost, the horse must go back to its true owner. Who said? Murad said. When? So Aram asked, when? When will you be going to return that horse to John Byro? In 6 months at the least, he said. He said, in 6 months at the least, I'll give you 6 months time. Within that time, you have to learn horse riding. He threw the bird into the air. The bird tried hard, almost fell twice, but at last flew away, high and straight. So, he said, I'll give you 6 months time. After that, I'll return that horse. Then he just threw the bird into the air. The bird tried hard. He repaired the wing of that bird and then threw the bird into the air. And the bird tried hard, almost fell twice, but at last it flew away, high and straight. So, now the question, can they hide the horse for another 6 months? Is it possible? Because John Byro is searching every nook and corner of that area to find his horse. So a member of the Garaclonian family could not steal something from someone. That is a belief. Can they keep that belief? So these are the questions. We will get the answer in the last part of the story that we will discuss in our next class. Okay students, last class I asked a question. The question was the name of the white horse. Before telling the answer, I want to tell you something, that it's there in the book Wazir, but it's a confusion is there, because I have read in one of the books about this Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. There they mentioned Wazir a name, but one of our students, her name is Ashwini, she informed that Wazir in Assyria, the word Wazir means to run. That's also correct, I checked. So maybe we can consider Wazir means to run, or perhaps it's a name for that horse. Anyway, congrats for all those sent the answer, and a special congrats for Ashwini also. And today I want to ask another question, and the question is, what's the name of Khosrow's son? What's the name of Khosrow's son? So you have to go through the text, and if you have any doubt, you just search. That is my intention. You have to read the text, and anything or any more you wanted to learn, you just search somewhere or read the books related to it. That is what is the intention of me to ask such questions. So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.